Let us talk about the word cute. Today we're embarking on a journey of creating cute overlays without using Photoshop. I'm going to be giving you tips on how I do some research before I start the new project. You're going to be learning some graphic design tips, and I will make the finished product available to you for free. Heck, if I like it enough, I might make it available as a full overlay pack. But if at this point of the video you're realizing, oh my god, I don't have time to do meticulous work, then you're in luck because today's sponsor is Own3d. Own3d is a website that will provide you with everything you need to customize your Twitch channel or even your YouTube channel. You'll get banners, panels, offline images, stream overlays, even pre-made animated emotes. Or you don't like pre-made? That's fine. They have a custom emote maker. You customize one emote and then Own3d just generates the rest. So for all your needs, camera overlay, labels bar, transitions, check out own3d.gg/getlevel. That is own3d.gg/getlevel. Now this is the website that I go for the first steps. Usually when you're going to create something in a specific style, you want to look it up. In this case, you can type cute, but cute is too much of a broad term. If you want to look up other cute overlays in order to draw inspiration, that's completely fine, but I don't like doing that. I usually get my inspiration from other stuff, such as UI designs from games, apps, websites, and all sorts of things that don't necessarily have to do with live streaming. So in the search bar, I typed cute graphic design and I'm gonna be looking at it. And the goal here is to detect some patterns. Of course, if you want something futuristic, you would type futuristic graphic design. If you want something, I don't know, grungy, that's something that you can look up too. I'm just trying to show you the process. So in order to save time, since this is something that I already looked up, usually cute graphic design has a lot of illustration. I hate illustrating. That's my least favorite part of graphic design. I really try to avoid it as much as I can. But thankfully, there are some patterns that we can notice that can make anything instantly cute. Those are the eyes and mouth. So those are a couple circles and then boom, a boba tea can be cute. An ice cream thing can be cute. Is that a cat? You have cute fruits, more cute fruits. And then here we have a stock website that actually provides you with those faces. So you can just slap them on anything and make it cute, kind of. So you can manage to find some free stock images of cute things and then apply that to your design. All right, we should have started by this, but let's look up what is considered cute color palette. And then here you have an idea of what people consider cute color palettes. You can even copy paste them, put them into your software and just draw from them. Draw as in color pick and then do your thing, not actually drawing. As you can see, we rarely go into very, very bright, vibrant colors. So that's cool. That's one idea of, hey, what is the pattern here? And we do have a mix of warm and cold colors. I really like this one, even though I'm not sure about the yellow here. Now let's open up photop.com. This is the website we'll be using in order to create our graphic design. This is what I call Photoshop Online for free. Yours might have some ads on the right side. Mine doesn't have because the cool people at Photopia saw my tutorials and they decided to give me a pass. Now, the only rule of creating overlays is just to know which resolution you want the overlay to be at. My computer, my monitor is a 1080p monitor, so I'm going to create overlays at 1080p. If you have a widescreen, you want to adapt the resolution. So a new project, why is new project not working? Hey, hello? Come on, Photopea, please tell me. Okay, so clicking new project is not working for me for some reason. That's weird. Let me try file new. Come on, Photopea. I'm trying to get people to use you right now. This is not what is going on. Let me open up on an incognito mode. New project. Why does that work? What's going on? Hey, yo, Photopea, did you lock me out? Is that what's going on? All right, me trying to tell you how cool Photopea is. But anyways, so when we click new project, this is what will happen. We will see the new, oh, it's in English. Oh God, let me switch to English. There you go. So you click new project, this thing will pop up. You want to put DPI at 300. This is basically giving you a higher quality. And then you want to set the resolution. Don't set it before the DPI because the DPI is going to mess it up. You can put height 1920 by 1080. You should know this. By, I'm joking. Click create and you will have a canvas that is 1920 by 1080. So Photopea, just like Photoshop, on the left, you're going to have the tools. On the right, you're going to have your layer list, if you will. And then up top, there's swatches, there's history. I'm most likely not going to be using that at all. Now let's go back to our color palette. I'm going to try to just add it here. All right, let's right click, let's copy image and let's press Ctrl V on our keyboard here. Click OK. And in order to transform or scale, you can press Ctrl Alt T. So that's kind of different from Photoshop. Photoshop is usually Control T, but Control T basically opens up a new tab. Hold Shift to maintain the proportion, even though it really doesn't matter here. And we're gonna have our layer here. As you can see, it created layer 1. We can double click and change this to palette, if you will. Boom, and there you go. From there, I want to click on the background. So hopefully that the next layer that I create is gonna be in between those. I'm gonna click on the rectangle tool, or you can press U. I'm gonna drag a rectangle that is outside the bounds right there. Okay, cool. And then on the layer list, I'm going to double click on the icon of that layer, which is a shape. And I'm going to be able to basically color pick right there. And this is where you can basically find out which vibe you want it to give. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of purple, as you can see. So I'm going to go with purple as the background color. Now, there's another thing that I didn't really mention, and it's that Qt graphic design is you usually do not have any sharp edges. Everything is always like soft and round and not too much contrast, okay? One thing that I also noticed is that the outlines, for example, here, the outlines are actually purple. They're not black. So in that same vein, let's try to do something with that. I think the easy button of illustration might be clouds. Let's type Qt clouds and see what we come up with. Of course, you can see they have that face. So the tip is, while you're doing Google image search, you can go to more. Is it more? No, it's not. You can go to tools, and then under usage right, you can go find Creative Commons licenses. Now you want to go on the website and look up everything, because sometimes it means that you need to give credit. But this is one way of finding quote unquote copyright free images, if you will. Of course, you will see a drastic difference when it comes to the quality, but I just thought it was a good tip to know. I'm going to go back and I want to recreate that quote unquote cute face. I'm just going to take a good look at it, and then I'm going to recreate this one, I believe. So let's go back to Photo P, and we're going to click and hold on the rectangle tool here until we find ellipse. It's basically the circle tool. You can drag like this, but if you want a perfect circle, oh my God, I can't speak. Hold Shift. It creates a perfect circle. So you can do this. You don't need to put 2 circles already. Remember, double click on the icon of a shape in order to change its color. I'm going to go with something that is dark, but not completely black, because remember, we have low contrast. Okay. And then we're going to just create, I'm going to click, and then I'm going to hold to create like the highlight. I'm going to do the same thing. And you can hold spacebar in order to move it while you're creating it. And let go of it to continue creating it. Boom, like this. So these are the 2 ones we just created. You can go here, and this one can be white. I think I'm fine with the white. Boom. And if you want, you can group it up for now, but I'm not ready to group it up yet. And then at the bottom, there's usually the little blush. This one is not a perfect circle, so you can just go like this, hold space to move it, drop it, double click the icon, and then I'm going to color pick maybe this. Yeah, that looks fine. Nice. Okay, now we need to create the mouth, and I'm going to use masking in order to create it. I'm going to create a normal circle, and I'm just cutting it in half. This is going to look like an O face, like a surprise O. I'm going to color pick that color because it represents basically our dark. Is it the same color? I can't see. I'm standing up at a weird angle. And then I'm going to pick the selection tool. And wherever I feel like it's appropriate, I'm going to drop and create a selection. Then at the bottom, while I have my mouth basically selected, I'm going to click on Add Raster Mask, which is the circle within a rectangle. Boom, it creates this. That's not what we wanted. And you can see that it created a mask here, but the mask is doing the opposite of what we want. We're going to press Control I to invert the mask. So anything that was outside of the selection is what is showing. There we go. And now we can just duplicate like the eye to the other side. So we have the blush here, the highlights, and then the main eye shape. So there's multiple ways of doing this. You can hold Alt, click and drag up. So it duplicates it, but it doesn't move it. And then you have to pick the move tool. You can press V for that and hold Shift so it stays on the same line basically. Even if I'm moving my mouse, that is Shift that I'm holding. And then try to make it symmetrical-ish. And there you go. We created a cute face with no drawing at all, like whatsoever. We're going to make the eyes a little closer. I'm going to select the bottom one, which is like the left eye. And we're going to do this, just like that. I just realized the eyes are gray. It's just like I have a weird light reflection. So they're not as light as I wanted them to be, but that's fine. Or maybe I could just hold Control, select everything that is dark, go to the ellipse tool, and then up top here, I can go ahead and maybe pick a new one. Okay, that's cool. All right. Now I can actually give this, it's not gonna auto update here, but I can make it a little purple. There you go. Now that's what I want. Cool. You want to group all of this together. So the bottom one up there, Control G to group, and you can double click and call it face. We're basically going to plaster it everywhere. All right. The hardest part is actually done. Control Alt T. Since they're shapes, they're basically going to preserve. Just realized the palette is in there too. Let me get it out by dragging it up outside of it. Cool. Select it, Control Alt T. And now I'm going to hold Shift to maintain proportion because we don't want to stretch it, you know, and keep this here. All right. I'm actually going to turn it off. I don't want to see it. And now we're going to create intermission screen. Remember that I told you that we want curved lines. We don't want anything sharp. So we're going to go ahead and hold click here, go to rectangle, and then we're going to have corner radius up top here. That will tell us, you know, how curved we want the corners to be. In this case, I'm going to go with something pretty big, maybe 25. Pretty big, 25, by the way. Yeah, I want something bigger. So I'm Control Z to undo, of course. 40. Let's see what that looks like. A little bit better. Still not satisfied though. Let's go with 60. That's nice. Okay, cool. So since it's an intermission screen, we want to create some sort of window for your camera to be in. We don't want it to be too widescreen because your camera is not widescreen. We have in Nye, this would be something like 1080p, for example, but it doesn't really matter because we can make it transparent so that you just put your camera underneath it, and or you can just crop it to make it fit. So I'm just going to do it like this, and I'm going to have some space on the left for the chat to show up. Or if you want, you can make it take all this space and then have your chat and your labels bar and all of that be on the right side. I like my inline labels bar, so I'm not going to do that. Let's do this just like that. You can leave a good amount of space just so we can decorate later on. Okay, boom. Doesn't matter what color this is because it's going to be hollow. I'm going to hold Alt, drag up on the layers list in order to duplicate it. I'm going to press Control Alt T, and this is what is going to create our chat. I'm going to drag here without holding Shift. And I'm going to create something that I feel like is decent for a chat. I'm going to hold Shift. I'm going to hold Shift and drag it to the side. Why is the Shift not working? Let me click Enter and then Move Tool, so V. Make sure that it's in line, holding Shift, it is. Now when it comes to the borders, let me turn off the palette real quick. When it comes to the borders, you want to keep something that is kind of similar, right? So I can press Control to select both of those and just eyeball it. I don't want you guys to be too paranoid basically about margins and things being exactly the same. But for example, Photopea basically tells you when you're in the middle, and I'm super in the middle right now. All right, now we can decorate. Now, easy decoration would be clouds, as I said earlier. So let's go back to our ellipse tool. Boom. And we're just going to create a bunch of circles until we feel like it kind of looks like a cloud. So I'm going to start with a big one like that. I'm going to have a bigger one, stretch it. Of course, if they were not the same color, that would actually help us. Let me select them all, go up top here, select white. There we go. And we kind of want a big one. Remember, you can hold space in order to move it while you're creating it. So this is a cloud. Don't ask too many questions about it. And I really like that. I'm going to select all of them, Control G, double click. I'm going to call this small cloud. And we're going to turn it off and we're going to create more clouds. I just need more pattern with the circle at the bottom. So just create one that basically with smaller circles, but more circles. Totally improvising. Okay, that's not too bad. There's some of them that are a little too close here and there's too much of an arc here. So I'm going to go and try to find the specific ones. For example, this one and that one, I might want to move it. Press V to select the move tool. Just give it more space to breathe in a way, or less arc in here. So this one was not close enough to the bottom one. That's not too bad. Let's select them all, hold Shift and then click on the bottom one, Control G, and that's big cloud. All right, and we're going to be using this basically to decorate the background, mostly to have something big on screen. Press V for the move tool, click and drag, and we just want part of this to be showing, right? Something like this. You can Control Alt T in order to free transform. I'm going to rotate this just so I can get more. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to hold Alt, drag up. So I have a second group basically, and I'm going to drag this down, and we're going to do our easy graphic designer diagonal, one side and the other side. Control Alt T, free transform. Whoops. There you go. Rotate a little bit. And this one doesn't look as good because we didn't pay attention to the top basically part of that. So we can right click and then flip vertically. Yes. So rotate again. And in this case, I might want to scale it. It doesn't matter if we stretch it a little bit. And I think having it over the chat a little bit is like extra stylish in a way. Let's click away. And this is what we have so far. All right, now you can decide if you want a specific shape for your face to go in. So if you want like cute little faces in circles, for example, if you want like have one on top of chat, for example, maybe one at the bottom left corner. Opposite corners is like my favorite, my favorite thing to make things look kind of symmetrical, even though they're quite organic, right? But I want to have a rounded rectangle, but I want it to be small in a way. Kind of like that. I would love to deform it a little bit. Now it's at the bottom. Let me bring it all the way up so it's visible. And let me Control Alt T and see what are my options. If I have warp, I do have warp. You can hold Alt and zoom in by scrolling on your mouse wheel. And here, I'm just going to click in the middle here. See what happens? Nothing. I'm going to click here. See what happens? Nothing. So I do need to use those things. So we're just going to give it more of an organic shape here by just pulling the handles. Just to make it feel a little more alive. Okay, so it's like a bean. All right, we're making a bean apparently. Like I'm improvising this. So for face, we can drag it all the way up, turn it on, hold Alt, scroll back to see what's up. And then here, let's turn on the palette and let's pick a color for, I'm pressing the mouse wheel in order to move. You can do this by holding on spacebar and also clicking and dragging. And in this case, I want my shape to be one of those colors because that's the color scheme, remember? So do we want it to be yellow? Do we want it to be blue? Or do we want to have multiple ones, right? I think this color might be cool, but it's going to contrast with the pink that we have on the blush. So let's go with yellow for now. And yeah, let's just place the face. That's nice. Control Alt T. Remember to hold Shift to maintain the ratio. And that's how we make some weird sort of bean thing. I think on the side here looks a little cool. It looks like it's looking down a little bit, or to the left at least. That's nice. I'm going to duplicate the face because I will be using it later. Move this somewhere here. And I'm going to group these two together. Control G. Press Control to select them. Control G to group them together. Now I have my bean in one folder. And I can go up there. I actually like it here. Yeah, I like it. Control Alt T to transform. Hold Shift to maintain proportions while dragging it down. I wonder if it would look better if it had ears. Right now, I'm not too much of a fan. It does look a little creepy, but that could be just me. Maybe that's just me. Let's go to our ellipse tool and let's try to see what it would look like with ears. Let's click away. I like that. That actually looks pretty cool. Let's scroll away. Nice. And we can create a different shape for the other one, for example. So let's do this. Let's make sure that we know. So bean. Okay, we're naming the group. And let's make sure that we create a new layer. But outside of this group, in this case, I might want it to be a little rounder. Nice. I can Control Alt T, right click, click warp. And I just want to give it more of an organic feel. So it's not like a perfect round. Cool. I'm going to bring the face up here. And I like putting it a little bit on the side like that. On top of that, maybe I want some extra limbs or ear, whatever. It's just at this point, if you're making curvy shapes, it's going to look good no matter what. It's just going to look good. I can go ahead and create one here. This is like an arm. And on this one, I actually want to have a stroke. So up top, while I have the ellipse tool selected, I can click on stroke up top here. And I can pick a color by picking solid color here and clicking on the red. And we want the stroke to be same color as the bottom. So let's just click here. So that's our dark purple. And let's click away, see what it looks like for now. Okay, it's nice, but not as nice as I want it to be. So click back on it. Make sure you have the shape tool selected the whole time. And maybe we want it to be that purple. So let's click again, click on the solid color, click on that purple. That's nice. And we want it to be a little thicker because it needs to be visible. Click away, click on another layer. I kind of like that. Actually, no, I don't. Maybe if we cut it in half, just like we did. Let's press M for the mask tool. I have a rectangle mask. I'm going to select here. Or actually, I'm just going to select the part that I want to be visible. I need to stop doing that. Let's go. Boom. And then I'm going to click on create mask. Now click away, click on another layer. And this is what it looks like. I don't know if that's an ear. I don't know if that's an arm. All I know is that it's cute. Okay, let's double click on the base layer here. And let's see if the blue would be a good color. You know what? I like it. Let's click on the other one, select this, select that. And what happens if I double click? Oh, it deselects it. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. Double click on the icon to change the color. Nice. Click away. Nice. I think I like this. Okay, let's group those together. And this one is going to be our blob. We have a bean in a blob, and they look super cute. Control-Alt-T to transform, hold Shift to maintain proportions. Let's keep it that way. All right. Now the white is clashing a little bit, but I don't mind too much. Let's add some strokes to these two things right there. These two things, the window for the camera and then the chat. We can select both of those. And in this case, if we want to modify them, we need to have the shape tool selected, click on solid color. Click on the actual solid color. Let's move this around and let's say that we want blue as the outline. It's probably going to clash a little bit with this one, but worst case scenario, we can add a shadow that separates them. Or maybe we want pink. Let's check it out. Let's move up. Let's click on the little arrow here to expand and let's see what it would look like. Okay, that's not bad, but right now it is expanding from the center. I don't know if you can see. So that's our line. It's going in and it's going out. This is going to cause maybe like some problems when we want to cut out this window. So I'm going to click at the bottom here and I can control it. The corners here, position center, I want it outside. Now it's going to be a little thick. That's how we like it. And we're going to bring it down just like that. Boom. All right. So far, nothing soft, like no gradients, no shadows. I'm not a huge fan of the chat. I don't like how contrasty it is. So maybe I want to go with a color that is less dark, right? So we're going from here, from the background. We want a little bit of contrast. We can go down like this. And I think that is more appropriate. Just for visual reference, we're going to make this the same color. There you go. Oh yeah, remember we had a small cloud. Let's bring this one up. Control-Alt-T to transform it, hold Shift to maintain proportions, and let's see where we can place this. I'm guessing here on top of chat, maybe we have a little text that says chat. Okay, we can duplicate it by holding Alt, dragging up. Make sure you don't put it in another group accidentally. And let's say I want to randomly place it over there, but I want this to be underneath my camera. Click away. What does that look like? I think that's pretty cool. That populates it a little bit. Let me keep duplicating, bring it up. You can bring it down to it. It doesn't matter. And let's do this. And the other way you can duplicate stuff is by holding Alt and just using the move tool. You hold Alt, you click and drag. That's going to duplicate it. Look, holding Alt, drag, boom. I have another one. Another one. Let me control now. Those are similar. So it looks like my thing has feet, basically. I can control Alt-T and I can either flip it horizontally. That's one way of kind of reversing, even though it's visible to the human eye because it's a pattern. You can flip vertically. So this way we have the top part. But this is like too symmetrical. So either I'm going to move this a little bit and then have this be here. Either I'm going to do this and really have it be different. I think that's nice. I'm actually going to stretch it a little bit and bring it up. Not bad. Not bad. Which one is which? Okay, that's the one. Nice. We do need to leave some space for the labels bar. Oh, talking about labels bar, it is time. Now, if you want to put everything like background on one group or anything like that, tidy up your stuff. For example, I have three clouds that are behind here. I can just put them in a group and call them BKG for background small clouds. Why I was in caps here. Here we basically settled on our main colors being purple and pink, because those are the most, prevalent colors, even though we do have the blue, we do have the yellow. So if you're going to create the labels bar, you can maybe try to contrast it a little bit, but you don't have to. You can just stick to the colors that you chose. Let's go with rectangle. Make sure we still have our 60 here. Let's go up there and let's do this. Actually, let's just create this like that. If you want the labels bar to be on top of the camera, that's something that you can also do, but I like to keep it underneath. It doesn't matter. It's a separate thing. You decide where to put it. Let's go like this. It remembers the other settings. So if you were to put this underneath, then you can see it kind of fits, but I actually don't like it, especially since the outline is kind of thick for that small rounded rectangle. Let's click this. Let's go on the outline. Let's bring it down a little bit. And let's see what we can do about the background color, if it would even match to change it. So boom. Let's turn off the stroke by clicking on the color and clicking on this. The X means, hey, it's transparent. I feel like it fits, but I didn't leave enough space at the bottom to make this that visible. So we're going to put it on top of this layer. If you want to center it with this layer, you can hold Control on your keyboard, okay? And on the icon of shape 7, which is our camera, I'm going to click once. Boom. It's going to create a selection, right? Now with the move tool and your actual new shape selected, you can go up there. Those are the align tools. You can center there, align left, align right, top, bottom, middle vertically, middle horizontally, which is what we're looking for right now. Boom. And now it's centered relative to our camera shape. Now on here, I don't need anything complicated. We just want 3 icons that represent whatever we want to show. You want to show your recent subs, your recent donations, or your recent cheers. If you're not affiliated, then probably follows, donations, and then maybe top donator. In my case, I would like to show cheers, donations, and subs. That sounds all right. So cheers is basically a specific shape. It's kind of like this diamond shape, but we can recreate it. All we need to do is get our rectangle tool. Let's do this. All right. Right now, the corner radius is a lot, so let's Control Z on this, and let's put it at 30. Okay. So I'm holding Shift on my keyboard right now to make it a perfect square. Okay. Let me bring it up because it's under everything. Control Alt T to transform. Hover around the corners to rotate. I don't think I've said that before. And from there, you can right click and I believe distort. Would that work? That doesn't really work. Escape. We want to pull this up. So another way to do this is to click on the pen tool. I need to make like a specific video on the pen tool because it's so useful. I'm going to hold Control. Let me zoom in. I'm going to hold Control, click on the outline. Okay, cool. So now we have these 2 dots that appeared. Well, they're everywhere. So this is basically where the curve is. From there, I'm going to hold Control again, click and drag to select these 2. Okay, now these 2 are selected. Hold Control again, click on one of them and try to move it. Now you don't want to mess this up, so hold Shift on your keyboard. And now, even if you do this, it doesn't matter anymore. And basically make a shape that vaguely resembles like the TwitchBit icon. All right, I let go. Boom, that's our TwitchBit icon. You can go ahead and basically try to, you can go ahead and basically try to make those curves more accurate, but hey, it's gonna be small. Click the move tool, boom, hold Alt, scroll back, and this is what you get. This is what you get. All right, double click on it. I want it to have the same purple as the background here. We have a color palette with a lot of colors already. We don't want to go wild with all the different shades, right? Control Alt T, hold Shift to maintain proportions, zoom in, middle mouse button to move around or space bar. Okay, so that's 1. So that's cheers. For subs, we usually want a star. Let's see what they have. So I hold, click on the shape. I go to custom shape, and then we should have shape here, a shape menu. There we go. And you can just type star usually. The stars here are a little curved, I believe. Yeah, so that's perfect for us. We don't want no sharp corners. Actually, we can just create it directly in here. You can use this as a reference for the size, so you don't have to resize everything all the time. Let go, boom. And press V for the move tool. Click and drag holding Shift to maintain the same line, boom. And then the other one, we can find whatever we think is, has to do with donation. The best way to do this, to be honest, is just to click on the text tool, and then type the dollar sign on your keyboard. There you go. I can select this and change the font until it looks like something that matches the style. So remember, we want something with curved edges. That seems to be great. While we have it selected, click up top here. That's where the color is. Click this and you're good. Move tool again, Control-Alt-T. Make it a little bigger so we can move it easier. Hold Shift. Same size. Press OK with the move tool selected. And just leave some space for, you can eyeball it, just leave some space for text, basically. Let's move this back a little bit so it's kind of centered. It doesn't have to be, it really doesn't matter. Now let's zoom out to see if changing the colors of those would be beneficial in any way. I think it would be because it doesn't look that good. Also, I actually want to change the size. I want them to be smaller so they have more room to breathe. So I'm going to select all of them using Shift here, Control-Alt-T, using Shift again to maintain proportion. I'm going to move them again. Do not worry. And the smaller they are, the better to me, to my graphic designer eye, but it doesn't have to be. You can be a little bold with that style because we are working with something that looks like it's hand-drawn, right? Do this and then place this roughly in the center of these two. That's nice. I would like to create an additional shape behind them just so I can give a little bit of color. So while you're up there, if you want to look for more shapes, feel free. I think this is a cool little option that you have here, especially since they already have social media ones. So if you want to add your social media, there's Twitter, Facebook, and all of that good stuff already in there. Photoshop needs to add that. There's even a cloud. Okay, I'm mad. You know what? Let's use the cloud. Boom. I'm going to click. Of course, it's stretching all the way. So hold Shift, maintain proportions. All right, that's nice. We actually want this to be at the bottom. So it's behind everything. And we want to look at our color palette. Click Fill, click on the color and see the colors that would match. I actually don't like it. It looks stretched a little bit. Control-Alt-T. This time I want to stretch, so I'm not holding Shift. There we go. And now I'm holding Shift to make it smaller. That's better. Alt and scroll wheel to zoom out. I like that. So let's select this, select the move tool, hold Alt to duplicate, drag holding Shift, and let's place it here. Hold Alt to duplicate, click drag while holding Shift to keep it on the same line. And boom, there you are. I'm actually not really happy about the dollar sign here because it's not as thick as the rest. So it looks different. I don't like that. So we can go back to our font, double click here, it selects it. And top here, you can find a font that is maybe still rounded corners, but maybe a little thicker. That would be cool. What is this? It doesn't even work. I like that. If you want more control over your font and stuff, you can click on Windows and click on Character. It will appear here, and then you can make sure that you have the font and all of its glory. All of its different styles. Basically, you can find bold, normal, but in this case, regular is already like this. So let's keep it like that. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. It's not really rounded around the corners. I could probably change that, but I don't feel like it. Okay, that's nice. Since this is going to be cut out, it's kind of like messing with everything right now. Since this is going to be cut out, I'm going to turn it off so we can have a better look at this. Also, it's so dark and it's adding that contrast that I was talking about. That is too much contrast in my opinion. Maybe if we make the chat that blue background color, let's see what's up. Let me guess. I didn't name the chat box. Shape 7 is this. That is chat box. Call it chat box. Double clicking on the name and double clicking on the icon for the color. Clicking this. This actually, does this look better? I feel like it does. Or maybe it's the pink on top of the purple that is bothering me. Yep, it was the pink. It was the pink. Let's see if we have yellow as the outline. That's a lot of emphasis, but it looks okay. Let's change this. I like it. It's more contrasty, but instead of having dark and light, it's just contrasting colors. I'm going to select both of them and I want the outline to be a little small. I'm trying real hard because like this is not my main style when I'm creating anything. So I'm trying really hard to not impose my own style on it, and my fill just disappeared. Come back here, fill. There we go. Okay. Now, in order to make this transparent and still have stuff on top of it, we just have to place everything that's going to be on top of it outside of the main group. That doesn't make any sense. Let me show you. First of all, I think we can use some more small clouds. I usually turn off and turn back on when I'm looking for what is what. All right, that one, I went to Move Tool, hold Alt, duplicate it. I went a little bit up here. And that's nice. And I would like to add some text that would say chat in this. Also, we haven't had any text. Oh, first of all, we need to group up the labels bar. So we have the $, all the shapes, and the background here. Holding Shift, boom, Control G, labels. Nice. We turn it off to make sure that everything is included. It is. Cool. So from there, I want to click on my text tool again and type chat. Double click on the icon to select the text and then change the color. First of all, the color is going to be pink because it's going to be on top of this. Maybe it's going to be pink. I don't know yet. And find an appropriate font. Usually you want to stick with one font. But in this case, we only use the font for the $, so it doesn't matter. We want to find something curly and cute, but not necessarily handwritten because we don't have any like super thin lines here in the design. That seems nice. You can click outside of it while it's selected like that to just place it. That's pretty cool. Control Alt T. Let's give it some more randomness to make it more organic. Control Alt T. There you go. Go near the corner and let's do this a little bit. There we go. I think this is nice. Now, this is the kind of the complicated part, especially if this is your first time using masks in general. So layers are on top of each other. We want the background basically to be transparent, but we also want that cloud to be transparent here. We want that cloud to be transparent. We don't want that cloud to be transparent. And we also, we want this guy to still be up top. We want the labels bar to be up top. So there's multiple ways of doing it. Usually I compress everything together, and then everything that needs to be up top on top of it, I just put it on top. And then I put a mask on the group that I create. So when I say compress together, I mean create a group. Let's create a group with everything, okay? Create a group with everything, including that background, right? Control G, boom, everything's in a group. You can turn off like this background because we don't need it. We didn't use it at all. So from there, what did we say needs to be on top? We need the blob and the bean to be outside of the group. Okay, now that big cloud here, we want it to be outside of the group. Okay, we want the labels to be outside of the group. Basically anything touching this area and that needs to stay up top. And then that's it. You can collapse this folder and this is everything else. Now, how do we create a hole here? We can just go find our text thingy. What am I saying? We can go find the camera shape, call it camera hole, camera window, if you will. Boom. Hold Control, the same way we selected it earlier. Hold Control, click on the icon, and it selects only the outline. Oh, because it's only an outline. Okay, Control D to deselect, by the way. Oh, I didn't know that it would do that. That's weird. Again, that definitely doesn't work like Photoshop. Photoshop would just select, the blue part here, the highlighted part, but that's fine. Let's duplicate it, drag it down this time. And we want this to be full without the outline. So we can have, fill type, this is going to be solid. Okay. Let's turn off the stroke so it doesn't select any part of it. Okay, cool. We still have our stroke, but it's on a different layer since we just duplicated it, okay? So basically we're gonna select this, Control, and do this, okay? We don't have it to be turned on, boom, so we can turn it off, put our outline, and then go back to our main folder, you can collapse it if you want, and then we can create a raster mask. It's just gonna create a mask in the middle, that's fine. Just press Control I to invert the mask. And ladies and gentlemen, just like that, you have created a cute overlay. This is the simple way in a way, but I wanted to just give you tips on all the little things that you can do, including the research, including the masking this and masking that. I'm not a huge fan of the blue chat right now. I don't think I'm going to make this a full overlay pack. I might make another one later on, but this will be available to you in the description. I will actually convert it into a published Photopea link right now, PSD, boom, click OK, and it will stay on the website for a couple months. If you're watching this in the far future and it's not available anymore, well, I showed you how to make it from scratch. So there you go. Boom, and this is the link that you will see in the description. Just click on it, it will bring you here, and then you can modify it the way you want. Now from there, if you want to create anything else like a banner, maybe a starting soon screen, be right back, offline image, panels, just use the same colors and the same style. Right? Keep rounded rectangles, keep the background purple if you can, the highlights are gonna be blue, and then the outlines can be yellow. And of course, here the main thing is like white clouds that are all around, so you can add that little thing, just so that everything is just harmonized together. Everything looks like they belong together. Well, that was a long one, but mostly because I was explaining the whole time and also making decisions. This is not like a second take. I haven't done this before, so this was just like improvise the whole thing while I'm doing it. I believe normally it would probably take me 15-20 minutes to make one. In fact, I created a full overlay pack in 25 minutes on my live stream during stream review. Oh yeah, that's a show where I review your streams. I do stream on Twitch, so go follow me and participate in stream review. Get your stream reviewed. Anyways, links will be in the description. Make sure you check them out. If I ever decide to make this a full overlay pack, it will be over at gumroad.com/getlevel. Go check it out because I already have some overlays over there. Most of them are free. The rest is just super affordable. But yeah, that's enough cuteness for today. I'm gonna go take a break and eat, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching my video. Go out there, make me proud, get level, out.